Attention Doctor. This talk is finding your focus, understanding the interaction of depression and attention. How many of you have had trouble with paying attention with your careers, with your family lives, with your emotional lives, because of attentional or mood problems? I think almost everybody here could say that. I think for most of us, see it as somewhat of a problem, but what I want to say is it's not only a problem. You know, it's a way that we are, and if we understand it, we have an opportunity to control ourselves, unleash our extra energy, our extra intensity. We really lead the world, but we're kind of ashamed of ourselves doing it. I think that people with attention deficit disorder and depression are being mistreated and improperly treated all over this nation because they lack access to appropriate care. I think it's possible to take control of the gifts that we're given and use them to meet the burdens and challenges of modern life for everyone, even for us. I'm going to tell you about what I think ADD is. There is no deficit in attention. The problem is modulating attention. It's turning it on, it's keeping it on, it's turning it off. Why am I doing this? There is a relationship between depression and attention that affects tens of millions of Americans, and there's nobody talking about it. Psychiatry, when funded, saves medical costs over and over and over, but yet nevertheless there are no prescribers. There are at least, I think, 45 million people with ADD in America. I think actually most of the high-functioning people in the world are also ADD. It's a kind of mind. It's not a dysfunction. There are, I believe, 30 million people who suffer from ADD and depression. You know, to conquer ADD, you need to do two things. You need to deal with the effects on your nervous system of your efforts to compensate for your attentional issues. And you need to learn how to craft your brain. Neuroplasticity, meditation, hypnosis, cognitive therapy, these kinds of things change your brain. We know how. We need both. Now, I want to give you an idea what I'm going to call the talented 10th. Our best 10%. Well, I think our best 10% are us. People with ADD, with Asperger's and autism spectrum, and with bipolar mood disorders. It seems to me that the smarter you are, the faster your brain works, the more the capacities can stun other people, the more likely you are to have other deficits in other parts of your brain. And what I see in the talented 10th, us, we are a large, huge group that is not taking care of itself. We're ashamed of ourselves. We don't want to tell people we have ADD or Asperger's or bipolar but we are running the country, and we always have been, and we always will. Albert Einstein, Thomas Edison, Ted Turner, I could go on, the list is endless. You know, the big thing is that there's a developmental delay in executive functioning. Self-regulation, cross-temporal planning. When you want to organize your life, you think about these simple maps, you realize time is finite. There's only so much of it. We have amazing spatial abilities and we don't use them, but use them to organize time and you will master yourself easily. Now, I can be tempted by distraction, but I got a part of me that's not going to give in unless it's good for me. I got another part of me that's keeping track of what I have to do next. I will never start anything if I don't know when I'm going to stop it. Everybody has an outer self and an inner self, a conscious mind and an unconscious mind, a left brain and a right brain. If they're not going to work together, that's when your ADD makes you vulnerable. It's concomitant upon you to learn how to knit the parts of yourself together. Depression, okay? Appetite, sleep, energy, anxiety, irritability. We have thin skin. We're raw. We try so hard. We are people who are loyal to our friends to a fault. When we finally feel understood, we can't forget it. We're some of the best people. We do all the most interesting things. But we suffer too. We don't understand ourselves. It's hard to find help. You can learn this. It's easy. It's easier than everything you've done in your life. So thank you all. I can't thank all of you enough from the bottom of my heart for helping me realize my dreams to try to do more than just see one patient after another. Thank you again very much.